Alrighty then, it's time for another edition of the Q&A. Thank you all very much for sending in your questions. Description box down below with all the details on how you can send in your questions. Largest85 kicks off this Q&A asking, have you seen any Dean Ambrose interviews? Yes, I've seen a majority of them. I saw one with him and Seth Rollins. The Shield and him had an interview with like Alpha Brain people, the people who create Alpha Brain. I think it was Muscle Farm. I can't remember, but all I know, I think it's On It. It was the On It Fitness Lab. They had a hour-long podcast with Tim. I saw a 30-minute interview with him in the Shield again, and then the Talk is Jericho interview, and then other Dean Ambrose reading interviews. I like to read the wrestlers' interviews because it gets me an idea of what these people think about the business. It just seems like Dean Ambrose, he just doesn't really give a fuck. just being honest here from reading his interviews, he just is go with the flow type of dude. He says what's on his mind, and he's very loyal to his friends, as you can see when they would ever ask him about the cock fist. He would defend the cock fist to no end. So I gotta give Dean Ambrose props on that. He's not betraying his best friend cock fist. He is standing his ground, and he still likes the cock fist, just like many of you should still like the cock fist. But yeah, I've seen the majority of them. He just seems like a chill dude from what I have seen from interviews, and a very good mouth interview as well. Definitely listen to the Talk is Jericho with Dean Ambrose. He's pretty entertaining there. The Fake Garbage Man asks, Randy Orton versus the Table, WrestleMania 32 in a tables match. Who do you have winning? No one. Because Orton can't break the table, and the table won't break for Orton. So it's going to be a long match that ends in a draw. That's just the truth. The Fake Miz asks, how do I get fans to realize I'm the real star of the show and not Daniel Bryan's stunt double? Be entertaining. And that's all I could really say. Just be entertaining, Fake Miz. The Shadow asks, is Sting related to the Crow? Well, I'm guessing since he did, take the Crow's gimmick, so probably he's related to the Crow. Most likely not, but maybe. We don't know. It's professional wrestling. Anything can happen in professional wrestling. Railroad Herald asks, Railroad Herald Q&A, what if WWE gave Randy Orton a male ballerina gimmick where Randy Orton comes out dancing? Asked by Railroad Herald. Yeah, no. That would be terrible. It would be painful on the eyes. It would still make Orton really boring when it comes down to his microphone work. It would just make him a more buffed version of Fandango. Yeah, no, it would be a terrible gimmick if Randy Orton was a ballerina. I hear voices in my head. He's all doing a little ballerina pose to that. Come on. It'd be disgusting. Stephen Bradley asks, what do you think of Alabama hiring Avery Johnson? Ooh, the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball program's at it again with some bullshit. They hired Avery Johnson. Stephen, it won't make Alabama a better basketball team. But geez, Avery Johnson took the Mavericks to the playoffs and the finals. Yeah, and he got his ass pushed by the Heat. Please. Same guy that freaking got beat by the Warriors. Yeah, Avery Johnson. No, not a good coach. Good player. Good player for his time. Nice, solid role player. But when it comes to a coach, no. Unless he has some freaking superstar in Alabama, he ain't going to do shit for that program. The Chase Allen asks, if I'm right, you said you were a Sonic fan. You are correct, sir. So I'm just wondering, what's your favorite Sonic game? Great question, Chase. I like to separate the two universes, like, the 2D Sonics and the 3D Sonics, because, it's just fair that way. Because there's some 3D Sonic games that I like. I know I'm going to get shunned by the internet by many Sonic fans for saying I like 3D Sonic games, but there's some 3D Sonic games that I actually like. And, when I say, like, what's my favorite Sonic game, I feel like I'm not giving the 3D Sonic games really too much credit because it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to say Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's my favorite Sonic game of all time. But when it comes down to the 3D universe, oh, nothing beats Sonic Heroes, man. I played the shit out of Sonic Heroes when I was a kid, man. That theme song was stuck in my head. Sonic Heroes, Sonic Heroes, we're gonna find it and find you away. Like, oh, God, that just get me pumped for a freaking game. That was the game right there, Sonic Heroes. I just loved how you could play as the different characters. Some of the teams were kind of annoying, like Team Chaos, or whatever it was, the one with the Rhino and the Bumblebee and the Gator. I mean, they had annoying missions, but other than that, I thought it was a fun 3D Sonic game. Not the best, but the fun, and my personal favorite. But my all-time favorite Sonic game has to be Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was it's just great, and the music's awesome. Johnny Russo asked, would it be a good idea to give Seth Rollins Randy Orton's old theme? Rollins' theme song now sucks, and Orton's old song is great. Hey, nothing you can say, nothing gonna take what you done to me. No. Giving Seth Rollins Randy Orton's old theme would just make Seth Rollins feel like Randall Keith Orton. You want your wrestlers to feel unique in many different ways. Giving someone an old theme song doesn't really help out that much, because when you think about it, remember when Antonio Cesaro had that one song where like doo doo, and it was just like a bunch of like random noise and stuff like that was speaking over it? People were saying Dean Malenko. You know, when you give someone a revamped theme song that sounds just like a theme song a current wrestler or former wrestler had, you're not going to think of that superstar right when they come out. You're going to be thinking of another superstar. So giving Seth Rollins, Randy Orton's old theme song, it wouldn't really work, because we're just going to think of Randy Orton. And then if you put Seth Rollins with Randy Orton, then that's not really good for Seth Rollins. Just being honest here. I mean, I love Burning My Light. Burning My Light was an amazing theme song. It's great music. But I wouldn't give Seth Rollins' Randy Orton's old theme song. Snowdrop asked, did you hear about the sexist chants on Raw after Mania? Like, you suck Cena chant at Nikki. Shit like that is why I'm glad I'm a lesbian. Yep. And it just shows the stupidity of professional wrestling fans. Ooh, give Divas a chance. We love the Divas. Oh, please. Just because you were chanting, let's go Divas, in the middle of that match doesn't mean shit. Y'all still chanting, you suck Cena and you suck Bryan at freaking the Bella Twins. So what makes you think that all of a sudden you chant let's go Divas, it actually matters? No, you guys are still sexist fucking pigs. It's just the bottom line when it comes down to it. And it just proves my point. No matter what you do with these Divas, you can give them the longest matches in the world. It doesn't fucking matter. Because if these Divas don't have characters that we can invest in, no one's going to give a shit. These women can go out there and put on a fucking classic Iron Man match. And a lot of wrestling fans will defend that bullshit. But I'll be the only one to say, oh no, it is stupid. That doesn't matter that Paige and Nikki Bella went 60 minutes in the ring and it was fucking awesome. No, because it was stupid. Because at the end of the day, Paige is still going to be the same bland, boring character that she is. And at the end of the day, Nikki Bella is still going to be the same bland, boring character that she is. Yeah, just because you chanted let's go Divas does not make up for the utter stupid fucking chants that you did. You just proved to the point that you do not give a shit about the Divas. It's just the truth. Then again, the WWE doesn't really give a shit about the Divas. Pietro Nilton asked, what matches would you like to see at next year's WrestleMania? Early card off the top of my head, what matches I would like to see. Since I didn't get it at this year's Mania, Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins, I still think that's a WrestleMania-worthy match, especially for Seth Rollins to get a huge win at. So definitely Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins. John Cena versus a Cockfist. I think it would help Cockfist a lot to be feuding with Cena with or without the belt. It doesn't matter to me, because I just feel like a feud with Cena would help boost his credibility and make him feel like more of a main eventer. Then I would probably want to have Sting and Undertaker. Hey, if you're going to have Dallas in WrestleMania next year and you have Sting and Undertaker on a contract, you better get these two old asses into the ring and actually do something. And Triple H versus Dean Ambrose, because I really feel like Dean Ambrose needs some rub and some shine hugely. So I feel like a feud with Triple H, the Game Mug, could help him out. And even though I'm not the biggest Bray Wyatt fan in the world, I would have to say him versus The Rock on the microphone would be pretty freaking sick. The match would suck balls, but I would like to see the promos between those two. So there you have it. Those are you know, just matches I can think of off the top of my head that would be kind of interesting to watch. All right, let's see. Reginald D. Huff asked, "What if you were a wrestler? What happened to Ray's opponent happened to you? To you opponent by him dying in the match after a move you performed?" I really do not want to answer this question, man. If that were to happen, I would feel really, really fucking guilty. I really would. It would probably lead me to go to therapy and all this other stuff. Would I want to wrestle again? Well, shit, I'm the dumbass who signed up for professional wrestling and that's my only career hood. then I would probably have to. But it would be definitely something that I have to deal with personally. That's the best I'm going to answer that question, man. Like, honestly, I do not want to talk about that Rey Mysterio situation. Reason being is why I didn't make a video on it. Unlike most of these YouTubers, I sometimes have class. I'm not going to make a video about something that is disturbing to me that I don't really wish to talk about. The Ultimate WWE Apologist asks, which one of us is a bigger WWE apologist? Me, Good Mike Work, Chris Jericho, Jim Ross, or Lance Storm? Okay, let's get rid of Lance Storm because sometimes he doesn't even kiss the ass of the WWE. He does a good job, but he doesn't do it that well. So it's between Jim Ross, Good Mike Work, Chris Jericho, and you. Chris Jericho has been kissing that ass hard. JR from being fired from that company is kissing that ass hard. Good mic work. Oh, he always finds some positive fucking spin to the WWE. Oh, it's just Maxwell. Just that's why everyone thinks he's such a great commentator because he tells you what he thinks is going to happen, and then somehow it fucking happens, and it's just like, oh, look at this positivity by the WWE. It's fucking awesome. It's like, nope. You're just lucky that the WWE books such stupid decisions sometimes, but. I would have to say you, Ultimate WWE Apologist. You never falter from the WWE. You always talk about everything is awesome with the WWE. You're the only one who believed that the Cockpit versus Brock Lesnar would be a great match at WrestleMania when many, like myself and others, were saying that match is going to suck. And look at that, it turned out to be a great match. So Ultimate WWE Apologist, it's you, my friend. You deserve it. Greg Toomer asks, what's your favorite match from that short, toothless Canadian ghost? Oh, the Pegasus Kid? Probably him versus Angle at 03. There's many reasons why I like that match, not just because it's just a great technical showcase, but it really solidified him as a main eventer in the WWE. Because, you know, he had his time in the WWF where they were trying to push him in the main event scene, but not a lot of people were really taking him seriously, even though he was a former WCW champion. But that match with Angle was just like, you know, his coming out party. It was just like, holy crap, dude, this guy really, really deserves to be in the main event. You know, it's funny. Everyone talks about Daniel Bryan and his fucking hard work and how he's so deserving to be a main eventer. But when it came down to the Pegasus Kid and what the hell he had to do to reach to the top, Daniel Bryan does not even fucking compare. Please call me what was Daniel Bryan's match of the flipping year, where the fans gave him a standing ovation for a good hard work effort. Because I can't think of one off the top of my head. Because the Pegasus Kid did have one against Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble of 2003. The Pegasus Kid showed in that title match why he should be a champion, and he showed it by telling a great damn story. And don't get me wrong, DB can wrestle in the ring. He can go. But there was one thing the Pegasus Kid had over DB, and that was the ability to tell stories. From now on, if you guys ever want to ask about that guy, just refer him as the Pegasus Kid. That's fine with me. The Savvy Yes Man asks, do you think it's time for WWE to release Kofi Kingston and for him to join TNA in the X Division? Sure, it'll be a better use for Kofi in his career. But then again, I think Kofi Kingston would actually prefer his paychecks to come in on time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, TNA and their money problems. TNA is going great. Yeah, that's why the wrestlers are not getting paid. If anything, Kofi should just leave the WWE, go to New Japan. He probably win a title there, win the light heavyweight title, or hell, in Ring of Honor, they would make him TV champ in a heartbeat. Yeah, I think it's time for WWE just to get rid of Kofi Kingston. I mean, honestly, if I'm Kofi Kingston, I'm thinking about asking for my WWE release just to leave on good terms and go elsewhere. Hell, he'd be an asset in Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan. It don't matter. Kofi Kingston, to me, would be a huge asset for any company. You know, companies would be able to do something that the WWE wouldn't be able to do with them, and that's probably make him a main eventer and maybe make some money off the guy. But then again, the WWE has kind of ruined him, but still, he would definitely draw some fans' interest. He would definitely put on some great matches with the talent out there. He can definitely help the young talent who want to go to the WWE, because I don't see Kofi being that type of a bitter person. I see Kofi being more of a laid-back guy, so he'd be able to mentor young cats before they enter the WWE and tell them, like, hey, right now, I don't think you're ready for the system. So yeah, when it comes down to it, I would love to see Kofi leave the WWE if it meant for him to have a better career. That's just me. I would love that because Kofi is one of my favorites. I really do like Kofi Kingston. I wish the WWE would get it with Tim and actually do shit with Tim, but it just seems like they wouldn't. So if I'm Kofi Kingston, I'm thinking about a release. That's just me. If he's happy where he's at, then more power to him. But honestly, for me, I would rather be doing something else than New Day. New Day. Like that shit. I would rather be doing something else. Reed19 asks, what would you choose if you were forced to choose between watching every episode of Raw from 2005, every episode from 2006, every episode in PPV of TNA from 2011, oh god, every episode of WCW Nitro from 2000, or the entire WCW versus WWF Invasion angle twice? Oh. Ooh, every Raw from 2005, because at least I know there's some good episodes in there. Yep, that's my answer. Jay Walker, what are your thoughts on Chris Jericho's rant on fans that were disrespectful to the WWE Hall of Fame? It's true. I mean, hell, when you go to every other fucking Hall of Fame, everyone gets respected and the fans are quiet during the whole event. Why do you have to disrespect people who are going in to the Hall of Fame? Makes no sense to me. Jericho was right on the money on that one. That was one thing I agreed with Chris Jericho at. Hey, give these people their respect. Whether you think they earned it or not, it's not your fucking opinion. Seriously. They're in the Hall of Fame. How much legit is the WWE Hall of Fame anyways? It's not really fucking legit. Let's just be real here. The WWE Hall of Fame is not really all that legit. So why make a fuss about it? Just sit back, relax, enjoy old wrestler stories. Have some fun. That's just me. That's my opinion on it. The Real Heel asks, who are 3 wrestlers you would love to see go into the WWE Hall of Fame? Jeez, we're already asking Hall of Fame questions. WrestleMania 31 just happened. WrestleMania 32 years away. A year away. 3 wrestlers. The Rock, Sting, and The Undertaker. Like, are you asking of all time Real Heel or just current roster? Because if I'm asking for all time, I can't wait for Triple H's Hall of Fame speech. That's going to be an ego test in its fucking self. I can't wait for John Cena's Hall of Fame speech. In all honesty, I really am so excited when John Cena goes into the Hall of Fame because I want to know how the fans are going to react to this fucker when he gets into the Hall of Fame, man. I can't wait for John Cena's little bullshit speech. That's gonna be fucking hilarious. And Batista. Yeah, Batista. I can't wait till he gets it off him. I want to see what fans are gonna say about him. Bill Bradford asked, did you watch the John Cena podcast with Chris Jericho? And if so, what did you think? Typical John Cena podcast. That's my thoughts on it. And if you heard the Stone Cold podcast with John Cena, fuck, man, you've heard it, the one with Chris Jericho. Some interesting, funny stories. Like, I thought it was hilarious that John Cena traveled with Funaki and Tajiri and the Ultimo Dragon and Doug and Danny Basham. I thought that was flipping hilarious. But other than that, nothing really too special about it. It's a fun listen if you're bored. Redwolf316 asks, what's your favorite Final Fantasy game? 10. Final Fantasy 10. Carson, the Iron Man 316 Lopez asks, what was the hardest level you played in Kingdom Hearts? Hardest level? Hollow Bastion on Proud Mode can be really, really fucking dickish. Or if we go into the Radiant Garden secret area on critical mode, that could be fucking ridiculous. Atlantica as a whole, both Kingdom Hearts, is ridiculous. I would have to go with Atlantica. Because the controls are just terrible. It's just so hard to swim around, especially in the original Kingdom Hearts where the camera was just so flippin' shaky. I would have to go with Atlantica. You know, there's a lot of hard levels in Kingdom Hearts, but Atlantica, especially if you go there really under leveled, you're going to get your ass kicked. And especially if your magic skills are not that good, oh, you're screwed. You're freaking screwed. Jake Loomis asked, what did you think of Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin on that Raw of 2005? I thought it was one of the best Raw ever, and it should have elevated Shelton Benjamin into main event status. It was a good match between the two. You know, Shelton Benjamin had many opportunities to be elevated to the main event. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's probably because Shelton couldn't talk, and also there was reports that he was lazy. But yeah, I remember that match. It was shown in the opening where Shelton springboards off the ropes and Shawn Michaels catches him with a super kick out of nowhere. I thought it was a good match. You know, looking back on it, like for me, man, when it comes back to looking back on matches, you have to see like what happened at the end of the day. Yeah, it could be a good pure in-ring match, all it can want, but at the end of the day, if Shelton Benjamin never became a main eventer out of it, is it really all that good? Just being real here. Fake Good Mike Work asks, do you think Vince McMahon is a lucky man to be fucking John Cena? Oh yeah, he's the most luckiest man in the world. John Cool asks, why is it nowadays if you say anything negative about the current WWE product, you get labeled a mark by people in the professional wrestling business and dick-sucking WWE defenders? I don't get it, man. I don't know. I mean, just being real here, man. Like, the wrestling business sucks. It sucks right now. It's just being realistic here. There's some positives in the wrestling business. I'm not saying it's like overall sucky, but when you look at it, the money's not really there for the wrestling business. The interest is not there in the wrestling business. I mean, the only people who seem to care about the wrestling business are the fans still a part of the wrestling business. It's not really growing as much as it used to back in the day. It's just really, to be honest, it's just overall not interesting. I hate it when people are like, oh, stop being negative about the professional wrestling business. Bull fucking shit. Let me have my goddamn opinion. Seriously. Like, why can't we be negative about the wrestling business? What, being positive all the time is going to flip and help it? Jesus, no. Sometimes you need negatives to freaking help you become positive. That's just a fact. I mean, just being real here. That's just a fact when it comes down to it. It's fine to always think positive. It's always fine to think of a positive solution to a bad situation. But keep in mind as well that, sometimes to get the best out of something, you have to look at it negatively. Look at the NFL and the NFL teams. You report more on the negatives of NFL teams than you do the positives. And that's because there's more flaws in football. No one gets mad when people are saying something negative about the great Seattle Seahawks or the great Denver Broncos. But no, we say something bad about wrestling, you don't truly love it. No, if I didn't love it at all, I wouldn't freaking speak my mind on it. That's just the truth. I love professional wrestling. I want it to fucking succeed. I want my friends to watch and talk about it and want to watch the shows with me and freaking speak about what happened on Raw. I want that. But me sitting here and trying to pull bullshit up my ass into your asses ain't gonna fucking work. This is truth. I don't get it why people call it marks. Like, why can't we just have an opinion? We're all marks at the end of the day. Jaywalker already answered the question from you. Final Limits asks, what if Hogan never came back at No Way Out 2002? Do you think The Rock would have wrestled at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto, Canada? Oh, yeah, of course. Come on, Final Limits. This is The Rock we're talking about here. Vince is going to leave The Rock off the card, one of his hottest fucking stars. Hell no. He would have found a match for The Rock. Oh, he probably would have inserted him in the world title match or probably have him face Kurt Angle. The Rock's wrestling at WrestleMania 18. Shit, he ain't missing that. Little Fish asks, thoughts on the whole Scott Steiner threatening Hulk Hogan situation? Scott Steiner. Oh, God. Love it. I love it, man. Scott Steiner just doing what he does best, man. Just doing what he does best. Trolling everybody. Just having a good time. See, that's a good professional wrestler for you. I mean, he's hitting on Hogan's wife. He's threatening to kill Hulk Hogan. Like, it's great. I love it. Old timers. And you know what I love? All these people have beef with Hogan, and Hogan just doesn't seem to give a fucking shit. Like, do you notice that anytime, like, someone has a beef with Hogan, Hogan's just like, no, brother, I don't know what the problem is, dude. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck. That's what makes it all funny. Scott Steiner is all trying to threaten to kill Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan's just sitting here like, I don't know what the dude's problem is. Fucking great. RV089 asks, we all know that Orton had a decent match with Rollins at WrestleMania 31, but one question you left unanswered in your review, which I would like you to weigh on, is did Orton's red trunks accelerate his ring boner more than his usual black trunks? No. I think that's why the match was only decent, is because their ring boner wasn't in full effect. I mean, Randy, yeah, he went Flash Throwback Thursday on us. He was wearing, the ugly red trunks and the freaking arm pads and stuff like that. But, he just wasn't in full effect. The Viper was not unleashed at WrestleMania 31 like it should have. So, no, it did not accelerate the ring boner. Because if the ring boner was there, RB089, oh, we're talking about a 5-star classic. And Michael Murray ends this Q&A asking, hey, Chase, question for Q&A. Would WWE be better off getting rid of SmackDown and just focus on Raw. Since the brand extension is over, is there a point of having it since there's no much other content now like NXT and the WWE Network, etc.? From a fan's perspective, yes, WWE should get rid of SmackDown. There's really no point to the show. Like, I don't understand why people still watch SmackDown. The shit you see on SmackDown is just going to end up on Raw. Let's be real here. I mean, the shit you see on SmackDown is just going to be on Raw. So why are you even watching that junk? But from a WWE's perspective, Michael Murray, just keep in mind, it's another TV show for them. And that TV show makes a hell of a lot more money than what goes on the WWE Network. I mean, the WWE Network can have their 1 million subscribers all they want, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because those 1 million subscribers don't make up for how much the TV ratings and the advertisers make off of SmackDown. You know, the WWE would not want to lose, you know, extra money that they don't want to lose. So, really, to be honest, like, as a fan, yeah, they should get rid of SmackDown and just focus on Raw. But then at the end of the day, WWE being a business, you got to think of it businessly sometimes, and no, can't get rid of SmackDown. That's just too much money to be lost. And especially because that would get rid of a show like Main Event and maybe a Superstars because, you know, they filmed those matches as dark matches for the SmackDown shows and the SmackDown fans to kind of get them warmed up before the event, and that means less money for the performers. I want the performers to make money, dude, not lose money. So, no, don't get rid of SmackDown from a business perspective. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for sending in your questions. Remember, description box down below with all the details on how you can send in questions. I am out of here. Hope you guys enjoy your night. Peace.